My beloved child, stop, just for a moment, stop everything you're doing. Because today, I am going to reveal something to you, something so specific, so precise, that once you hear it, you won't be able to unsee it in your own life. Your soulmate is already making their first move. Not tomorrow, not next year, but right now, in ways so subtle, so quiet, that most people miss it completely. And if you are watching this video today, at this exact moment, it is not by accident. You were guided here, because your soul already sensed that something is shifting. So breathe with me, my beloved child, get comfortable, and let's uncover, together, the first move your soulmate is making toward you, right now. The move before the meeting. Most people believe that a soulmate's first move happens the moment you meet them, a smile across the room, a message that starts a conversation, a hand extended in introduction. But the truth is far deeper than that. Your soulmate's first move happens long before you ever lay eyes on each other. It happens in the unseen, in the quiet, in the space between thought and feeling. It happens the moment their soul begins reaching for yours. And this reaching, it doesn't announce itself with fireworks, it doesn't come with a loud, obvious sign. It comes as a whisper. A whisper you may have already felt, and simply didn't know what it meant until now. The first sign, a shift in your energy. Before you ever meet your soulmate, before a single word is exchanged, you will feel a shift. Not around you, but within you. Many people describe this as suddenly feeling lighter, as if a weight they didn't even know they were carrying has begun to lift. Others describe a sudden restlessness, a feeling of anticipation, like something is about to change. Even though nothing on the outside has moved yet. This shift is the echo of your soulmate's first move. Because when two souls are destined to meet, the universe begins preparing both of you, quietly, internally, long before the physical meeting takes place. If you've been feeling this lately, this unexplainable shift, this quiet sense that something is coming, pay attention, my beloved child, because this is not your imagination. This is preparation. The second sign, sudden clarity. Right before a soulmate makes their first move toward you, many people report a sudden burst of clarity in their own lives. Old relationships that no longer serve you begin to fall away naturally. Habits you've been trying to break suddenly become easier to release. You find yourself asking deeper questions. What do I really want? Who do I really want to become? This clarity isn't random timing. It is your soul clearing space. Because before your soulmate can fully step into your life, you must first release what no longer belongs there. Their first move often looks like your own life quietly rearranging itself, making room for something new. The third sign, their name or face appears. This is one of the most common signs, and often, the one people notice first. A name you haven't thought of in years suddenly crosses your mind. A face appears in a dream. A face you don't recognize, yet somehow feel deeply familiar with. Sometimes, it's even more specific, you begin noticing a particular name everywhere, on license plates, in conversations, in books you're reading. This is not coincidence, my beloved child. This is your soulmate's energy, beginning to introduce itself to your subconscious mind, long before a physical introduction ever takes place. Your soul is being shown a preview, so that when the real meeting happens, some part of you already recognizes them. The fourth sign, an ache you can't explain. Have you ever felt a longing for someone you haven't even met yet? A quiet ache in your chest, late at night, when everything is still, and you find yourself wondering, where are you? When will I finally meet you? This ache is not sadness. It is recognition. Your soul already knows this person exists, and it is calling out. Reaching across the invisible thread that connects you both. This is often the very first move your soulmate makes, a quiet call, sent out into the universe, that your soul feels, even before your mind understands why. If you felt this ache, know that it is not a sign of loneliness. It is a sign of connection, already in motion. The fifth sign, repeating numbers and symbols. As the connection grows stronger, you may begin noticing repeating numbers. 1111, 222. 333, 444. Or perhaps certain symbols begin appearing, hearts in unusual places, feathers on your path, specific animals crossing your view again and again. These are not random occurrences, my beloved child. They are gentle nudges, confirmations, signs that the universe is aligning something significant in your life. When your soulmate makes their first energetic move toward you, these synchronicities tend to increase, almost like the universe turning up the volume. Making sure you don't miss the message. Pay close attention over the next few days, you may be surprised at what you begin to notice. The sixth sign, a dream that feels like memory. Dreams are one of the most powerful ways our souls communicate, beyond the limits of the physical world. If you've had a dream recently that felt less like fantasy, and more like memory, a dream where you woke up feeling as though something truly happened, that may be your soulmate. Reaching for you, across the dream plane. In these moments, our conscious defenses are down, and our souls are free to connect without the interference of logic, fear, or doubt. Their first move may have already happened in your sleep, and part of you may already remember it, even if your waking mind cannot fully recall the details. Why the first move happens quietly. You may be wondering, my beloved child, why doesn't this first move feel more obvious? Why isn't it loud, clear, undeniable? Because true soul connection does not need force. It does not need to announce itself with noise, because it is already true, already real, already unfolding, whether you notice it consciously or not. The ego craves loud, dramatic proof, but the soul communicates in whispers, in subtle shifts, in quiet nudges that only reveal their full meaning, in hindsight. This is why so many people, looking back on how they met their soulmate, realize, oh, that's when it started. I just didn't see it at the time. Today, my beloved child, I am helping you see it, while it is still happening. What to do when you notice the signs. If you recognize these signs in your own life right now, here is what I want you to do. First, acknowledge it. Don't dismiss the ache, the clarity, the strange familiarity. Simply say, quietly, in your heart, I see you. I feel this. Second, release the need to control the timeline. Soulmate connections unfold in divine timing, not our own impatient timing. Trying to force or rush the process often pushes it further away. Third, continue becoming the best version of yourself. The clearer, healthier, and more whole you become, the more ready you are to receive this connection when it fully arrives. Fourth, trust the process, even in the waiting. The waiting is not empty. It is sacred. It is preparation. It is part of the story you will one day look back on with wonder. If you've already met them. Some of you watching this may have already met the person these signs are pointing to. Perhaps you dismissed the connection at first, perhaps timing wasn't right, perhaps life pulled you in different directions. If their name, their face, keeps returning to your mind, unprompted, again and again, that may be more than memory. It may be your soul, telling you the story isn't finished yet. My beloved child, pay attention to what refuses to fade, what keeps quietly returning to your awareness, no matter how much time has passed. Sometimes, the first move already happened, long ago, and what remains now is simply the universe waiting for the right moment to bring the story full circle. Protecting yourself from false signs. Now, I want to gently caution you, because not every longing, not every daydream, is a soulmate sign. Sometimes, what we call signs are simply our own hopes, projected onto someone who isn't actually meant for us. Here is how to tell the difference. A true soulmate sign brings peace, even amid uncertainty. It does not create anxiety, obsession, or a desperate need to chase or control the other person. If your thoughts about someone feel more like fear and grasping than warmth and trust, it may be worth gently examining whether this is truly a soul connection, or simply unmet longing seeking a place to land. True signs feel calm, even in their mystery. A guided moment with your soulmate's energy. Let's take a quiet moment together, my beloved child. If you're somewhere safe to do so, gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and release it slowly. Now, without forcing an image, simply allow whatever comes to your mind, a face, a feeling, a warm light. Silently say these words in your heart. I am open to your first move. I trust the timing of our connection. I release my fear, and I welcome your love into my life. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, slowly return your awareness to the room around you. However that felt, trust it, my beloved child, your soul often knows long before your mind catches up. The second move, how it builds. Once the first move has happened, quietly, energetically, the connection doesn't stop there. It begins to build, layer by layer, like a bridge being constructed from both sides at once. The second move often shows up as opportunity, a chance encounter, an invitation you almost declined, a decision to attend an event you nearly skipped. Many soulmates, when they finally tell their story, describe a moment where they almost didn't go, almost didn't say yes, almost missed each other entirely. And yet, something pulled them forward anyway. That pull, my beloved child, is the second move, the universe gently steering circumstances, increasing the odds, narrowing the gap between two souls who are meant to meet. If you find yourself receiving unexpected invitations, sudden urges to go somewhere new, or unexplainable feelings that you should say yes to something, pay attention. You may be standing at the edge of your own second move. Why some signs feel bittersweet. I want to be honest with you about something, my beloved child. Not every sign along this journey feels purely joyful. Sometimes, the ache of longing for a soulmate you haven't met yet, can feel heavy, even lonely. Sometimes, remembering a soulmate you once had, but lost through timing, distance, or circumstance, brings quiet grief alongside the hope. This bittersweetness is part of the process. Because deep love, even before it fully arrives, stirs something profound within us. It reminds us of our own capacity to feel deeply, to hope deeply, to want connection deeply. Don't judge yourself for feeling both hope and sadness at once, my beloved child. This duality is simply proof of how alive your heart truly is. The role of self-love in recognizing the signs. Here is something rarely spoken about when it comes to soulmate connections. The depth to which you can recognize your soulmate's first move is often directly tied to how deeply you know and love yourself. When you are disconnected from your own heart, it becomes harder to distinguish between true soul signs and simple wishful thinking. But when you nurture a strong relationship with yourself, when you learn to sit quietly with your own emotions, without fear or distraction, your intuition sharpens. You begin noticing subtleties you once missed entirely. This is why so many spiritual teachers emphasize self-love, not as a cliché, but as a genuine spiritual practice, because the more whole you become within yourself, the more clearly you can perceive the whispers of connection reaching toward you from beyond. What happens when you ignore the signs? Some of you watching this may look back and realize you've ignored signs like this before. Perhaps you dismissed a strange coincidence as nothing. Perhaps you talked yourself out of a feeling that didn't make logical sense. I want to reassure you, my beloved child, ignoring a sign once does not mean the connection is lost forever. True soulmate bonds are resilient. The universe often finds new ways, new opportunities, new signs, to bring two destined souls back into alignment. However, the more attuned you become to noticing and honoring these signs, the smoother, and often faster, this journey tends to unfold. So consider this video a gentle invitation to start paying closer attention, starting today. A message for those who feel impatient. I understand, my beloved child, waiting can feel unbearable at times. Especially in a world that moves so quickly, where we're used to instant answers, instant connections, instant gratification. But soulmate timing operates on an entirely different rhythm. It moves according to growth, readiness, and divine orchestration. Not according to our personal calendars. If you find yourself feeling impatient, frustrated, or even doubtful that this connection is real, take a deep breath, and remind yourself. Every sign you've noticed so far is proof that something is already moving, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Trust takes practice, and this waiting period is often where that trust is built. How the universe confirms true connections. As your soulmate's first move continues to unfold, you may begin noticing outside confirmation as well. A friend might mention something eerily related to what you've been feeling internally. A stranger might say something that feels like a direct answer to a question you never spoke aloud. You might come across a quote, a song lyric, or a piece of art that captures your exact emotional state, at the exact moment you needed to see it. These external confirmations work hand in hand with your internal signs, reinforcing the truth that this connection is real, active, and already unfolding. Keep a mental note, or even a written journal, of these moments, my beloved child. Over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. The difference between a soulmate and a lesson. I want to share something important with you, my beloved child, because this distinction can save you a lot of heartache. Not everyone who enters your life carrying strong emotional signals is meant to stay forever. Some people come into our lives as soulmates in the truest sense, destined for a long, deep, lasting bond. Others come as what many call karmic connections, powerful, intense, sometimes even overwhelming. But ultimately meant to teach us something, heal something, or prepare us for what comes next. Both are valid, both are meaningful, but they are not the same. how can you tell the difference? A true soulmate connection, once it settles beyond the initial spark, tends to feel like peace, safety, and mutual growth. A karmic lesson often feels like chaos, longing mixed with pain, a cycle of coming together and pulling apart. If the connection you're sensing brings more turbulence than peace, consider that it may be preparing you for your true soulmate, rather than being that person itself. Trusting divine timing. There is a phrase that echoes throughout so many spiritual traditions. Everything happens in divine timing. It can feel frustrating to hear, especially when your heart is aching for connection right now. But consider this, my beloved child, every soulmate story you've ever admired. Every love that seemed to arrive at exactly the right moment, was once, to the people living it, an uncertain, unclear waiting period. They didn't know, in the middle of their waiting, that their story would turn out beautifully. They simply trusted, one day at a time, one sign at a time. You are being asked to do the same. Not blind hope, but active trust, continuing to grow, continuing to notice the signs, continuing to prepare your heart, while the details work themselves out behind the scenes. A final guided reflection. Before we close, my beloved child, let's take one more quiet moment together. Wherever you are, take a slow breath in, and let it out gently. Place a hand over your heart, if you can, and silently repeat these words. I trust that my soulmate's first move has already begun. I am ready to notice the signs. I release my impatience, and I welcome this connection into my life, in perfect timing. Sit with that feeling for just a moment longer. Whatever stirred within you, a warmth, a flutter, a quiet peace, trust it. When the first move comes through someone else. Sometimes, my beloved child, your soulmate's first move doesn't come directly from them. It comes through someone else, a mutual friend who suddenly mentions their name, a coworker who invites you to an event where they happen to be. A family member who insists you meet someone they just have a feeling about. The universe often works through the people already in our lives, using them as gentle messengers, without them even realizing the role they're playing. If someone has recently, insistently, brought a person into your awareness, even if it seemed random or unimportant at the time, consider revisiting that thought. It might be more than a simple suggestion. It might be the universe using a familiar voice to deliver an unfamiliar, yet important, introduction. How technology plays a role today. In this modern world, my beloved child, soulmate connections don't always unfold the way they did generations ago. Sometimes, the first move happens through a screen, a profile that catches your eye for no clear reason, a message from someone you've never met, that somehow feels different from all the others. Some people dismiss these digital signs as just an app or just the algorithm, but consider this. If the universe can use dreams, numbers, and chance encounters to orchestrate connection, why not technology as well? The medium may have changed, but the underlying spiritual mechanics remain the same. If a name or profile keeps resurfacing in your digital life, again and again, in ways that feel oddly persistent, pay attention. The universe adapts to every era, using whatever tools are available to bring destined souls together. Signs you might be the one making the first move. Up until now, we've focused on recognizing your soulmate's first move toward you. But sometimes, my beloved child, you are the one being called to make the first move. If you've been feeling a persistent nudge to reach out to someone, to send that message you've been hesitating on, to attend that event you've been putting off, To simply say hello to someone you keep noticing. That nudge may not be random anxiety or fleeting curiosity. It may be your own soul, being called to make its move. Soulmate connections are rarely one-sided in their unfolding. Often, both souls are being gently guided to take small steps toward one another, at different times, in different ways. If you feel that pull today, consider honoring it. You may be about to become someone else's answered whisper. Healing old wounds before the connection deepens. Before a soulmate connection can fully blossom, my beloved child, there is often an invitation to heal. Old wounds from past relationships, old beliefs about love not being safe, or not being lasting, old patterns of self-sabotage or fear of abandonment. These wounds, if left unhealed, can unconsciously interfere with your ability to recognize, or fully receive, the connection unfolding before you. This is often why, right before a soulmate's first move becomes noticeable, many people experience a wave of old memories, old emotions, even old relationships resurfacing briefly. This is not a step backward, it is the universe offering you one final opportunity to release what no longer serves you, so that you can walk into this new connection with a lighter, more open heart. If old memories have been surfacing lately, my beloved child, don't resist them. Let them rise, acknowledge them gently, and then release them. They have already served their purpose. Trusting what you cannot yet see. As we near the end of this message, my beloved child, I want to leave you with one final truth. Faith is not believing in something because you can already see it clearly. Faith is trusting the process, even in the middle of the mystery, even when the full picture hasn't revealed itself yet. Your soulmate's first move may still feel like a whisper you're only beginning to understand, a series of small, quiet signs, rather than one dramatic moment. But whispers, when honored, eventually grow into a voice, and that voice, in time, becomes a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. You are not imagining this connection, my beloved child. You are simply standing at the very beginning of it. As we come to the end of this message, I want you to remember one thing. Your soulmate's first move has likely already begun. It may look like a shift in your energy, a sudden clarity in your life, a name that won't leave your mind, an ache you can't quite explain, a dream that felt far too real to be imagination. None of these are random, my beloved child. They are the opening notes of a story, already being written, quietly, beautifully, in perfect timing. So don't miss this sign. Because somewhere, right now, your soulmate is reaching for you, in ways only your soul can fully understand. If this message spoke to your heart, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, and subscribe to Hidden Blessing Message for more spiritual guidance, soulmate signs, and divine messages sent straight to your soul. Comment below and tell me, which sign resonated with you the most? I read every single comment, my beloved child, and I would love to hear your story. Until next time, stay open, stay aware, and trust the first move already being made, for you.